Dang it, Bobby.
Episode 4.
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you just hit it. You just hit it right there. I don't know how else you can explain it. It's just nowadays with the internet, social media and whatnot, and how things are set up, you have to move a certain way and do certain things in order to even get your music played. You feel me? Your character has to be right. You have to have proper etiquette. You have to know what you're doing in order to get paid properly. Like, all these things matter before the music. You feel me? You could be a great artist, but if you are a damn dickhead, nobody's gonna wanna fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So I think all that implies to the business.
And he is so successful. Like, it's stuff like that people don't think about. But, you know, Z, you know, an artist I've worked with for 6-7 years, he has a clothing brand that kills it. His music does great too. But he saw this kind of stuff, and we've talked about it before, and I'm like, you need a brand, not necessarily clothes, but like, you need a business of some sort to be able to fund your artist part of you. And that's exactly what he did. He went and built the brand called Eat, and they've made a real thing out of it. It's really cool. It was cool to be a part of the original, and then now to look at it and see it kind of everywhere is really cool.
Yeah, I think it's always important to handle business first, like prepare type shit. Yeah, because you never know, like, you have a hit, right, and then like your business not even handled. Like it probably should have already been handled, you know. And then like you probably don't even got like your royalty, publishing everything, but like I mean,
yeah, I learned that years ago. 90% business and 10% talent. That's a real thing, bro. Like, it's cool if you got the hottest music on the planet and all of that. For me, here's my philosophy about that. Do as much of that 10% as you can, so when the 10% is done, is produced, is ready to be put out, you can focus all of your attention on that 90%. If you are constantly having to go back to go and clean up 10, let me write 10, let me finish 10, let me hook up with somebody 10, if you got to do all of that over and over again, you're never going to get to the 90%. You're never going to get to it. That is a problem for Oklahomans like crazy, bro. Prioritize.
Make sure that you develop your music first before you try to put the bag behind it.
I mean, why not? Think about, there's a very, very popular old school producer. Goes by the name of Babyface. Babyface's anthology is absolutely bananas, okay? This dude has done more music than most people. I don't know anybody that's got more songs than Babyface, bro. And never mind songs. Let's just say hits. Bro, this dude could start at 100 and we still ain't scratching the surface. He could start at 100 top 20 charting joints. Not top 100, top 20 top charting joints. At well over 100, that's just the start. Now we can go into the actual works of these. God only knows how many that might be. This dude has not worked with, like, I just heard a song he just did with LMA. Like, getting ready to do a whole female album. Like, he's gonna list all these chicks. Like I said, LMA, Ari Lennox, yeah, Money Long, and all these people. Man, it's gonna be bananas, bro. Her and SZA and all these chicks. Man, can you imagine what that's gonna be? And this is just him getting it already. He's setting the floor. He's setting the stage up. He's throwing you a filler out there. It's like It's like fishing, man. And it's like, this is a bait that they don't normally bite on. So let's just throw it out in the water. We'll let it float around a while. We got beer, we got floaties. We just gonna sit out here. We don't care if they bite or not. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's like. So they don't really, Babyface ain't worried about that part because that's 10% right there. That 90 though, when he got all of that music done, that's all they gonna focus on when that comes. And that 90's gonna say, we're on stage. That 90's gonna say, we're on a plane headed to the next city. That 90's gonna say, we just negotiated a contract with XYZ. You understand what I'm saying? That's the getting paid part. You ain't getting paid to be in the studio and record. You're getting paid to be in front of the people. You're getting paid to make appearances. You're getting paid to get endorsements. You're getting paid to get licensed. You're getting paid for all of those things. If it just so happens to go on a radio station, that is icing and cake candies. But the cake, always the money. Follow the bread, bro. Go in there and do the work. Get all of that stuff recorded. However many songs you want. If you want 50, then record 50. Make sure all 50 of them is ready. Don't leave demos, don't leave scraps. I'm not sure, so I left it empty. Finish the 10% and then go out there and focus only on the 90. You'll be fine.
Yeah, it's kind of like a business thing. Like, you know, that you got to pay for this slot to open up for this big artist. You got to pay for promotion. So I guess that kind of goes back to the other question, like, you know, it is business and marketing, and like, you got to be able to, even with paying to perform, you're paying to get in front of those people and like show your face or show your music to that person's fans. So if you open up for Lil Baby at the Criterion or something, right? You have a potential to have Lil Baby's fans like your music now. So that's, you know, the biggest, you know, positive of that. But the music gotta be good. You gotta relate to them and catch their attention and make them feel you and relate to you instantly, because you only got like short sets and they're there to see the headliner. So if you're an opening act, they're kind of already dismissing you from the get-go because they're like, wait, where's Lil Baby? Where's the headliner? Where's da-da-da? Why are they on yet? Why are we watching this guy we don't know perform for 10 minutes, 3 songs, you know? Yeah. So you gotta make sure those 3 songs grab their attention and make them feel something, because that's when you get Lil Baby's fans or the big fans, and that's when the pay to perform can benefit you. But if you go on there and your songs aren't mixed well, or they hitting or something, or your energies, your energies, or people's like, who's this guy? Like they kind of weirded out by you or something because you're awkward and stuff. You gotta go show your face and, you know, work with these people.
It's the same thing as, you know, looking at a play. You know, you look at the 2 people on the stage, but you don't look at the 20 people behind the screens. You know, at the end of the day, music is shown to be music, but there's so much going on behind the scenes that you have to be able to understand. You know, you can go on YouTube and look at the beat, but you didn't see how the beat maker made the beat. You know, you didn't see how the distribution came apart. You know, think of it this way: like, how did Keytek end up messing with the baby? You know, you see it as, oh yeah, they're just the producer got with the baby, make some beats, but you didn't see about all the struggle. You didn't see about all the stuff that came by with it. You are a brand, you know what I mean? Whether you know it or not. And whether you know it or not, people are actually like paying attention to you. Once you start to make a wave, a lot of people scout you. You know, whether that's A&Rs or other labels, a manager or other artists. And so you, in order to actually make something happen in the label, make something happen in the industry, you have to realize that, you know, there's a lot of people that do music, but there's only a few people that are chosen because of the way they do their music, the way they show themselves to business. You know, a lot of my opportunities came about from actually being very respectful and actually reaching out to other businesses and doing good business with other people. You know, half the battle is making music, the other half is presenting the music.
Showing up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't show up late. Don't be on no Oklahoma time. Don't be talking about 9 o'clock and showing up at 9:45, bro.
I'm thinking about like visiting like Atlanta and shit. But I most definitely gonna always rep OKC. That's where I came from.
So you want to do it here?
Yeah, I'll do it here too. You know, I'll also, of course. But I also like to travel and branch out too, and go to ATL, Miami, LA too. Yeah, for real. Because like shit, it was one of my dreams to go there and work over there too. Like when I started. So if I ever have to get the opportunity to go, I will. But it's all love, you know. I'll never leave. I always work with my people.
The people here that I've built everything with, it's a loyalty thing. I don't, not that I ever expect that sort of loyalty back. But yeah, no, that would never happen. But I am successful because of this place and these people. So for me, it comes back to the loyalty thing. It comes back to the promises I made whenever I started all of this is, I did it here. So why would I
Move somewhere.
Yeah, I did it all here, and I'm proud of this place and what we've built.
I got a lot of shit going on in Oklahoma right now, bro. But sooner or later, I'll be gone. Sooner or later. Don't know when. But I do plan on retiring somewhere beautiful. You know what I mean?
Hawaii.
Yeah, somewhere.
Kids, I got family, I can't really just up and pack. So like, the little out of the state shows are cool, go out there and do my thing, different place, different state, support my state and then just come back home with my kids.
Yeah, I got some family I gotta, support, stick with, and right now it's not a good time for me to be going nowhere. Family business, everything like that, but I wouldn't be afraid to branch out. I wouldn't say that this would stay where I would, live out my life. But right now, or maybe in the next 5 years, I wouldn't see myself relocating anywhere.
I mean, that been on my mind lately, though. Just moving around and doing my shit too. So I do got that in plans for the future. But other reasons though, it's really been on some system shit. You know what I'm saying? The reason why, like, the nigga really just can't move nowhere. But in the future, it's gonna be way better. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit about to, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to be expunged for some shit. So everything gonna be way better. You know what I mean? To where it's like I could go out of town for real. You know what I'm saying? And live out there and, you know what I'm saying? Work hard out there. You know what I mean? And build relationships and network and shit like that. But right now, it's just taking trips out of state. That's all I can do. I can't really just, and that's what I have. I have been doing that, but I can't. I can't just go out of, you know what I'm saying, state and live though.
I think it's because of the fact that the music here, at least 5 years ago, the music here was very underdeveloped. There's not a lot of professionalism and growth to be made in Oklahoma. At least there wasn't. And as all these bigger fish started to really come about and kind of grow and develop around Oklahoma, you got your Cuttas, your Chris Cuttas, you got anyone from artists, you got C.L. McCoy as a producer in A&R, you got, I can go name a list of people, and it's just, once these names started kind of really bringing the scene together, everything started shaping around it. And I feel like I stay here because there's a lot of growth here, because of that. Like, the growth here is so phenomenal and so fast that it seems like opportunities are popping up left and right, and I just genuinely enjoy the people. These are some of the nicest people that I've dealt with, like, you go where I'm from, in New York, people are not nice, but they're good people. But here, just in general, people are just good people.
I mean, there ain't no reason for me to leave, you know what I'm saying, for good. don't have no beef with people. I don't have no problems with nobody, you know what I'm saying? I don't have nobody chasing me out of Oklahoma. Like, I leave in order to make a move, you know what I'm saying? But as far as like moving and leaving permanently, right now, it doesn't make sense for me right now. And when that time comes, then I'll bust that move. I've definitely thought about moving to San Francisco. You know, that's where Empire is, and it could definitely be very beneficial to me. You know, so who's to say I'm not getting ready to move right now? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I love Oklahoma.
Well, I have a daughter. I have a 7-year-old girl, little girl, and I'm a full-time father. I'm a full-time dad, single dad, and her family is here, and my family is here. They help me need to make my moves to go to Atlanta or California and stuff like that. You know, I have somebody there to keep my daughter from me when I need to make moves. Shout out to my mom, my pops, and all of them. So that's honestly the real reason why I'm here. It's just when I need to make my moves, I have a great support system, my family here in Oklahoma. Because I definitely would have been gone, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day too, I got a nice stuff here in Oklahoma, cribs, all that shit. And if I need to get to somewhere, if I need to go to LA for a couple of weeks, I'm just gonna go out there for a couple of weeks, set up shop, come back home. If I need to set up shop in Atlanta, I'm go out there for a little bit, work out there, come back home. You know, that's the main reason why, just because my baby girl is just, this is her home. I don't want to take her away from what she knows, her family and the help that I get from my family for when I do make my moves. Great question, by the way.
I don't know, man. A lot of things outside of music. Like, I do love Oklahoma. I mean, I got it tattooed on my hand, you know. So I love Oklahoma. I wish Oklahoma was a little bit different sometimes, but I mean, it's changed a fuck ton since I was a kid. It's not really the same as it was, so I feel like we're moving in that direction. But yeah, man, I mean, I don't know, dude. Like, I have a house here that's paid off. You know, we can smoke weed here now all the fucking time. The cost of living is just really low. I mean, it's really easy to live here. And I do think Oklahoma is a good place to like raise kids and stuff. But yeah, there's not a lot to do here really. You know, there's not a lot of variety for in general for stuff for people to do really. So that's kind of like the boring part. But I don't know, man. I think at this point now, it's like I just feel like if I do get opportunities, then I'll go to those places and I'll do my work there or whatever, and I'll stay there for how long I need to for whatever. But then I'll just always come back here because it's my home. Yeah, and probably because I'm older. You know, I'm turning 38 next month.
Man, I really want to see Oklahoma win, truly. I think because I've been here for so long, I've been in this industry for so long. I've been doing music since I was 12, so I've been doing music almost 12 years. That's a lot. That's a long time. So, and to go that long and we still don't have an Oklahoma artist who's really on, like we do. We have artists who they get in there. They are. But having artists truly that is mainstream, top 40, at least, you know what I mean? Like up there that, you know, you could go to another state and mention and, you know, whatever. Like, it's crazy to me. And I feel like, why wouldn't I do that for my state? Like, I could leave. I've thought about leaving so many times. Like, I should just go to Atlanta. Literally, I went to Atlanta for a weekend and got so much love and support, met people, like, real connections. I can't, and to come back here and not even get the same, it's discouraging, it sucks. But at the same time, it's like, that's why I have to do it. I have to do it so I can break down that door so that moving forward, the other artists, I can pull them up with me. Like we don't need just one artist who's doing it and everybody else just left in the dust. No, we need everybody up there. It's enough money for all of us to eat. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like, it's so important because there's gonna be another young girl out there like me who wants to do the same thing. And she needs to see somebody do it. And I'm gonna be that girl to do it.
I don't really think so. I don't really think that you have to move in order to like really develop a brand and an artist, because that's what social media is for. You know, there's so much marketing done nowadays that's both indirect and direct that you yourself can really make your name out there as long as you're willing to put in the work. You know, there's a lot of people that I know that follow a step system where they reach out to other people through social media and build their brands that way, whether it's by doing features, whether it's by doing collaborations or other projects.
No, you just gotta apply yourself more. You need to invest too. You can't. It takes money to make money. You gotta invest.
You gotta invest in yourself where you want people to invest in you, because if you wouldn't put $5 behind your name, why would you want me to put 100?
Nah. June made that possible. Yeah, June made that possible. At first, I ain't gonna lie, when I first started, I was thinking like that. But then when I saw June do it, it just gave me way more hope. Like, you know, like that nigga, because at the end of that, we both from the same state. No matter we from two different cities, we from the same state. So, you know what I'm saying? The nigga can make it out there, the nigga can make it out here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm in the capital. You feel me? So shit, I'm where everybody go. You know what I mean? So everybody need to go ahead and tap in, man. Just tap in with AP, y'all gonna see, man. For real.
I say everybody has a different angle, and so for some people, the angle that they take, you don't have to go anywhere. Getting dumb placements, making money, you know what I'm saying? And like I told you earlier, like not leaving the house type shit, you know what I'm saying? That's different angles. Kind of producer that I want to be, and the kind of producer that a nigga that sit on this computer is two different kind of producers, and that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with it, because me and him can both have the same kind of money. We can both get the same kind of reach and have the same kind of accolades. He just a different kind of nigga. I'm trying to have a brand. I'm trying to be a producer figure. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to be like a figure. I'm not trying to just be a computer ass fucking producer. Because if I can rap, you know what I'm saying, I just don't want to rap, so I got to be a star in that field. Fuck it.
I don't think so, because I made it, I feel like, and I've been in Oklahoma, you know what I mean? Is it good to go to these places? Fuck yeah, of course. But to make it in today's day and age, no. Back then, yeah. I feel like you definitely had to move around back in the day.
Like the death row days.
Oh my goodness. You definitely had to move around back in the day. But now, you can reach China from your living room. You know, you can reach Turkey from your living room now. You can reach anywhere you want to and sitting in your living room. You don't have to go nowhere no more. That's the beauty of the internet and stuff now. You just gotta know how to work that system. You gotta know how to work that platform that is given to us. Don't just go in there trying to search find ladies and females or talk shit on the internet if you're an artist or producer. Get on there and grind and hit up 100 people a day. You hit up 100 people a day, that's 700 people a week. 4 weeks out of the month, that's 2,800 people that you hit. Close to 3,000 that you hit in 1 month. You watch how big that how those people's gonna, that outcome's gonna be for you.
You grow your fan base.
Super.
Man, there's a lot of back end stuff that we have to do, especially when like you get put in the hot seat. You know, when I was working for when I recently made the placement for the newest movie that came out. One of the biggest problems that I had was that they wanted a second song, and they said, hey, you got 24 hours to make this track work. We're putting Meg Thee Stallion on it. We're doing other stuff with it. I'm like, that's great. What do you want? we want A, but it doesn't need to be like B. Or we want it to be like B, but we don't really want it close to A, you know? But it needs to be like C, but it can't be too close to C. You know, you as the producer have to visualize it, you know, their painting and then paint it out for them, you know, because at the end of the day, your job is to make it work. Your job is to be creative. Your job is to put things together no matter how hard or difficult it is. And so there's just so much problems on the back end of things, especially when it comes to really important stuff, that you have to be prepared for it to do. Whether you're gonna spend 2 hours or 90 hours in, you know what I mean, in 1 week. So.
Definitely not what I expected it to be. Definitely hard work. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't consider. Budgeting, definitely one thing, but traveling, the time it takes out of your day, you know, a lot of things, and you know, shit could happen. So you always gotta take it head on. And as far as like tour life, it's not easy. It's not for everybody, but it's definitely worth the experience. I would say at least try to branch out. I wouldn't say do an entire tour. Don't book out your whole year for your first run, but you know, have a little season for yourself. You know what I mean?
Doing samples not getting cleared, or a label asking you to quote unquote remake something for somebody, or somebody doing that to your beat, you know what I'm saying? Like, those are like tough situations that you have to deal with, and it's hard, I'm not gonna lie, especially when you have situations like a producer, an artist might did a song on a producer's beat, they're asking for way too much money. Then they come to you and they're like, okay, we need this beat like flipped, you know what I'm saying? But then you might have a relationship with that producer, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, damn, like that puts you in a situation because you want to do the record, but you also don't want to undercut another producer, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's whack situations and tough decisions that you have to make, but shit comes with the business, man. I done had situations where songs ain't get cleared and I missed out on a lot of money. I done had situations to where I've done samples, or I've used samples, and due to vocals being too vulgar or something, like the sample won't get cleared and you gotta go back and redo the whole beat, or you artist might have did a song on one of your beats 4 years ago and now the beat is outdated, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote outdated, and you gotta come back and update it, or they get somebody else to do it for over your stuff, you know what I'm saying? Like, that shit is whack. So yeah, it's a lot of bullshit that come with the industry.
Clearing samples is always like, it's always became like a big deal when I first started, cause like I already knew about that too, and if it's a bag, I don't care about feeling like it's business, you know what I mean? Type shit. You can hate me later, but we got work. Gonna work when your back hurts from being, you know what I mean? Yeah, when you're making beats, always your back always hurts. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to that too.
Well, I met a lot of people that thought that they were something when they weren't at all. I think that's probably the most annoying shit, man, is when you meet somebody that like, they're so fucking confident in their shit, but they're not good. For real. I just didn't want them to waste your fucking time, bro. Being straight up, man. Like, I'm just being real, dude. If you got the juice, you got the juice. If you don't have the juice, you don't have it. It don't matter how much you try to flex or pretend or whatever the fuck. Like, if you got talent, you got talent. If you don't, you don't. And that's it. You know? And so
it could be a lot, man. It could be so much shit to come with this thing. You gotta have tough skin to be in a business like this, man. It takes a lot of motherfucking money, for one, for a shit show. It takes a lot of motherfucking patience with people that actually are working, actually putting that time in, actually putting that struggle in. You gotta make sure that, bro, you can't not stop. You have to be consistent. It's too much. It's too many people out here that is actually working just as hard, if not like even harder, to try to get to your situation. So you got to know that you're going up against a billion motherfuckers in this industry. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna take money. It's gonna cost you a lot more than you're gonna gain at this point. And you gotta be ready to do that. You gotta be ready to spend that money. You gotta be ready to put it all on the line for your career or for whatever that you're doing.
To network, bro, stay humble, bro, and be consistent. Be loyal. Those are the 4 things I can say. I don't want no nigga to approach me and you know what I'm saying, we trying to build a relationship and then it's not what it seemed like, you know what I'm saying, nigga just showing fake love, saying it's just business. Oh, it's just business, bro. But nah, bro, you make it, you know what I'm saying, some niggas will make it seem like they fuck with you, but really don't. I don't know. I'm just looking for loyalty, bro, and genuine companions and relationships. Locked in for life, gang.
Not everybody in this industry is your friend. Not everybody in this industry is your friend. A lot of these motherfuckers is here for a reason. A lot of them here for a season.
It's hard. Time management is key. Definitely get your calendar straight, get your reminders on. And don't forget to take care of yourself. That's a big thing. Make sure that in your schedule you take a day out for yourself and hang out with your family, just unwind for a moment. It's rewarding behind after seeing everything that you've done pay off, but the footwork is definitely a whole experience that I would never take back, because you don't learn nothing just sitting at your home. So the meetings, the events, the shows, I love it all.
Motherfuckers gonna hate you even when you ain't doing shit. Motherfuckers gonna envy you when you ain't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? When you in your own lane and you grinding, you still gonna have haters. No matter how cool you be to niggas, you shake niggas' hands, they talking behind your back. You know what I'm saying? So, hell yeah, and that's just because that's just some shit I already know, just witness and been around. So it's just, no matter what type of nigga you is, go ahead, haters, man. So just keep grinding, man. Just do you. Don't worry about shit. Just do you, man. Just do you.
When you're not being consistent, there's always gonna be someone out there working harder. You know what I mean?
They're hungry.
Yeah. So sometimes whenever I get down, I start feeling down. I just think about there's probably someone else working, and I'm just sitting here. That was the thing that kept me going. I'm not trying to compete with anybody. I guess it's be better than how you were yesterday type shit.
I just wish I would have knew how to get paid for everything. I wish I would have knew how to get paid up front and on the back end way ahead of time. When I first started making beats. When I first started making beats, I was undercutting myself, you know what I'm saying? I was selling beats for bags of weed sometimes, you know what I'm saying? Or not knowing my worth. I wish I would have knew my worth back then, because I would have been doing what I'm doing now.
I think the biggest thing I've learned so far is that there isn't a right way. There isn't, there's no script, there's no blueprint of how to do this. Every relationship, my relationship with Kutta could get me somewhere that your relationship with Kutta would get you somewhere else. And it's so cool. I think I've learned that to just enjoy it, and I think that my biggest lesson is just to not try to make things work a certain way, or like, okay, I thought this was gonna go this way and then get down because it didn't work. And like there's no timeline, you just gotta do what you know you're good at, and that will get you exactly where you need to go. And if you're good at 16 things, be good at 16 things. If you're good at being a singer, be a great singer. Like, it will get you exactly where you need to be when you need to be there. I think my biggest lesson was just not trying to force things, and not trying to like, okay, I need to be seen here because this is make or break. It wasn't, I'm good at what I'm good at, and I just need to build off of those things versus trying to be, I think just trying to let go of this, okay, I'm gonna do this in 5 years, I'm gonna do this in 10 years, this is the goal, just being a little bit more relaxed. Obviously having goals and having plans is great, but we are in an absolutely 100% creative environment that can change at any moment. So just let go of that whole idea that, things need to be a certain way. And that I need to know certain things or be this certain, there was a mold that I always put on myself and on my career. And once I kind of let that go, things started working a lot easier. So.
I know that's what you said kind of inspired. There's another thing. Like, I'm sorry.
The biggest lesson that I've learned during my career, one, never give up. Never give up. Just because your time didn't happen when you thought it was going to, it's going to happen exactly when it was supposed to happen. So, never give up. Don't allow yourself to get discouraged. Second, believe in yourself. Don't, like I said before, there's going to be tons of people who tell you you're not good enough, you're not this, you're not that. We don't fuck with it. We don't, just because they don't fuck with it, there's an audience for everybody. Remember that. There's an audience for everybody. Like, you look at artists like, Rico Nasty. You look at artists like Coily Ray. You look at artists that are pushing these envelopes and, these genre bending artists. Willow Smith. You know what I mean? Like, there's an audience for everybody. You may not have it in Oklahoma, and that's okay. But that doesn't mean that it's not out there. The world is bigger. So don't feel like just because, you're not seeing it right now means, oh, I just need to give up, or I just, whatever. Like, never. Don't do that. And then, I would say the last thing it's really taught me is just perseverance. And I feel like all these lessons really go hand in hand with each other, but man, it's gonna get hard. No matter what you're doing, life gets hard. Like, it gets hard to stay consistent. It gets hard to stay inspired. It gets hard to, it takes sacrifice. Like, when I'm talking about, putting this much towards studio and then this much towards, the engineering. Oh, don't forget, you gotta buy beats. You know what I mean? And then turn around and you put, money behind the video. Then you have to go and you put money behind your marketing. And how much money you put behind your marketing really determines how far your song can go. All of those things, I think it can be very discouraging to artists, especially as an independent artist, but you just have to trust your process, trust your gift, trust your purpose. And if this is what you're supposed to be doing with your life, it's gonna happen for you regardless. There's nothing that can stop it. Nothing can take what's meant from you. So persevere, keep going. You know what I mean? That's all you can do. That's all you can do. And just trust and know that when it's your time, it's gonna be your time. And you'll know when it's your time. Trust me, your time.
Everything isn't what it seems. A lot of this stuff is for show. either you're gonna play that game or you're not gonna play that game. And if you play that game, then you're gonna go one direction. If you don't play that game, then you're probably always gonna be hella independent and grinding on your own. But you know, honestly, man, like one thing too I would say, and there's one thing that took me a long time to learn, and now I'm like way better on it, is patience. Patience, because a lot of times in this stuff you have to wait around forever for something to drop, you know, and that sucks, you know what I mean? You're just waiting, fucking, like I've waited like sometimes like a year or something. Horrible, like it's worse, but yeah, just patience and just play your game, man. I don't know what else to say. Like, do what you want to do. Like, play it however you want to play it. I don't think there's one right way to do this, man. It's like Jay-Z said one time. I'm not even a huge Jay-Z fan, really, but he had this one lyric and it was like, it was something basically like, if they can tell you how to do it, they never did it. Because at least in this music shit, art in general, like, at least from what I've seen, man, it seems like everybody breaks in a different way. You know what I mean? And so there's not really like one set way, or you just gotta play your game and just grind at it and see where it goes, you know?
Yeah, I'm having a huge PTSD right now thinking about it, man. Like, it's okay to fail as long as you're willing to grow from it. That's the biggest thing. A lot of producers start off young and you will make a lot of mistakes. You will accidentally burn bridges. There will be people who will think of you negatively because just by association, who you rock with, who you don't. And that's all okay. It's okay to mess up. You know what I mean? As long as you focus on growing from that, as long as you focus on trying to do something more than just staying around the negativity around you. I think that was the biggest one for me, man. For a while, I really focused on trying to be something that I wasn't, you know? And I let what other people say get to me, and let this idea behind, you know, what is and what isn't really get to me. I'm about to go on a tangent, but like, what really changed my perspective was that once I started to realize that my value of who I am meant more to me than what other people did, that's what really changed my perspective on everything. I started realizing that when I went to the movie premiere for the movie that came out, I was around just these like models. I was around these people that just looked like they were the part, you know? I didn't look the part. People thought I was their security. I got asked that 3 times, man. For real. That hurt. That made me like realize that, you know, it's okay to not fit in. You know, it's a weird thing. Like, I started changing myself, started working out more. I started doing all this stuff where it just became toxic, to where I wanted to change myself to try to fit in, and I started to realize it just didn't matter. Yeah, it really doesn't matter, man. Like, too many people focus on the negative things, and there's no reason for any of that. Don't waste your time on negative emotions. Don't waste your time on that stuff, because the biggest thing that most artists, producers, and anyone that does any type of creative art, a lot of them have depression because they feel like they hit this wall. They feel like I should be somewhere I'm not. They feel like I should be like in some aspect that they're not. And it just causes this negativity, and if you're too busy focusing on what you should be, then you're not focusing on where you're at now. You know, and I feel like as long as you live to where you are now, you focus on what is now, what is right in front of you, you'll start at least saying, look, it doesn't matter what is around me. Look at what's in front of you.
Biggest lesson. Patience. I think patience is the best answer for me on that, because you just never know when something's gonna happen for you. Opportunities is not written for you. It's not something that you can write in your own space and will. It's gotta happen. It's gotta happen for you. And if you're not patient and you're just like, fuck it, I quit, that opportunity is never obviously gonna come at all now. I've been patient so many times for things, and you know, I've had ups and downs in this industry. It hasn't always just been, you know, smooth sailing for me. I had deals that fell through. I had placements that fell through that I thought it was going to happen. It didn't happen. All kind of different opportunities, but it discourages you. Yes, it definitely discourages you. But you have to sit back and be like, if I got these many opportunities, another one's bound to happen. Another one's got to happen. And so patience is definitely, I think, is the biggest thing in this industry that you have to have. Definitely.
That's a weird question too, because you know how sometimes you ask yourself, you know, well, if you had it all do over again, what would you change? And sometimes you think to yourself, I wouldn't change a thing, I enjoyed the ride, whatever. You know, sure, there might be some things you might change. However, I think of it this way as well. If there is something to be learned and something to think that it could have gone better if X, Y, and Z would have happened, you have to remember today that you're fully capable of making X, Y, and Z happen right now, okay? Think of what X, Y, and Z might entail. Now, this is just like in algebra. You know how when you get the numbers and then the letters are incorporated? Letters are not numbers, so how the heck am I supposed to come up with the with the answer for this? What Y is, what X is, and what Z is? This is kind of like that. You ask yourself, what is X, Y, and Z? The answer should be 10% is music. So record all the music you can and get it all finished and ready to go. Y should be your 90%, handle all of your business. Get into the specifics of that. I need all of my contract work. If I'm doing a venue, how much do I want to get paid? If I'm going to be there for 2 hours, how much do I want to get paid? If I'm going to put on a 45-minute set, what is that going to require? If I'm going out of state, how much? If I'm going overseas, you know, out of the country, whatever. What ducks do I need to have in a row? These are X, Y, and Z. That's what I mean by that. So you gotta put all that together. And then finally, that Z part as well should also be that articulation piece. Do I know how to talk to people? I can't go on Jimmy Kimmel. I can't go on, you know what I'm saying, Trevor Noah show, and this man fits to talk over my head because all I do is say F words. And come on, man. You know what I'm saying? You want to have an intelligent conversation with them. Get your stuff together. That's the X, Y, and the Z. So if there is something that needs to be done, if you had to do it all over again, those are the things. Get all of that stuff in order. So figure it out. Ask questions. There are resources out here, like I said, you know. Yeah, don't not take it seriously.
I said the biggest lesson I've had to learn is the same saying that everybody's been saying, like it is dead ass about who you know. That's it. Like I've been hard for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And it was just about getting into the hands of people who knew people and loved me enough to sell me to other people. And it just started clicking, you know what I'm saying? Like everywhere I went, people would start clicking, you know what I'm saying? Like they was starting to fuck with my shit. And they was fucking with me. And I spent time with these people, building relationships with them, like real ample time with them, you know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, it is the biggest lesson I learned is really about networking, bro. You really have to get dirty, bro. Get your feet wet, get your hands dirty. Everything that they got to say with doing something like that, bro, you got to do it. You got to go play in the trenches. You got to go get dirty on them, bro. You got to get dirty on the nigga. That's just what it is.
I would think a bad manager is probably just somebody that just mostly talk and no action. The same could be said about legal representation too. Promoters are like that too. You know, you'll get shady promoters that claim they'll get shows and stuff for you and don't. Or maybe they get you shows and the shows are like, all right, we had 6 people, so that was 2 more than we had last time. you know? Gotta do better, you know? And again, look at what your set is, if that's what's happening to you. Think about your set. Because I don't really care if you perform in front of 6 people, 60 people, or 600. The goal is still the same. Is my show off the charts? Did they get anything out of this show that said, not only am I entertained, I'm so glad I came? That. You need that. You gotta have it.
Yeah, you know what I mean? As a producer, I'm looking for a manager that could basically manage me like shit. And answer my DMs, like, you know what I'm saying? Answer more of my phone calls, handle them inquiries. Cause like, nigga, I got anxiety. Like, I don't really like talking to people. On God, I don't. But shit, I still handle business. That's why I look for a manager, just to be reliable, on point, you know what I'm saying? Have that money and shit, loyalty. We locked in forever.
Oh, man, listen. The artists that are coming up, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. You don't need a manager until you have something to manage. Understand that, because you have to pay this man a percentage of your purse or your winnings. And because this man is actually working for you and managing your career. So have a career to manage if you're gonna have a manager. Going into managing, a good manager is somebody who's gonna pay attention to your every needs, a person that's gonna do for what's good for you. Not what's good at that time, but what's good for you. You know what I mean? Like, they're supposed to be on your team.
But they're not gonna be a yes man. They're supposed to be.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? A manager will never be a yes man. They're not just gonna agree on your every idea, because your every idea might not be a good idea. He's gonna make sure that he has the right people to figure that out.
First of all, I'll tell you, a good manager is gonna get you shows. A good manager is gonna have resources in order to get you indoors, and you know what I'm saying? A good manager is gonna push you. A good manager is not gonna be a yes man. You feel me? And a good manager is gonna be on your ass, you feel me? And a good manager works for you. You don't work for them. You feel me? A manager doesn't get paid until you get paid. So, I would say watch out for the opposite of those things. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, a motherfucker most managers can be janky as hell, but you want them to be janky for you. You feel me? On your side. So, yeah.
Bad manager. So I have seen a deal happen locally. Not from a manager, but from an agent, where I don't know if the artist just didn't ask. I'm not entirely sure how it all happened, but I do know that they would tell the artist, you know, I booked this show for you for $500, you're gonna get paid $500, and you know, you're gonna give me 20%, right? So he did this over and over and over again. Well, the artist talked to one of the venue owners at some point and realized that his manager was actually getting paid $2,000 a show, and he was only giving him $500 and then taking 20%. Okay, so I think that a huge red flag for agents, managers, things like that, is not being transparent about deals and things, because the thing is the artist who's hired you. The artist doesn't work for you. You don't. So I think that there's a real rough area, a real gray area, where there's some confusion in that. The manager is not in charge of the transact. Like, the artist is the boss. Okay, that role does not need to be confused. The manager manages the artist's stuff. And like, if the artist needs personal management, that's a different conversation. But that's still only personal things. You're not in charge of you can't make a decision technically on, like, the artist gets the final say. They are the final line. They are all of those things. So they are in charge. And I see a lot of issues arising where the managers start trying to be in charge and start trying to take control of artists. Like, I don't know. At the end of the day, I don't have a single artist where I wouldn't be like, hey, they hit me up about this. Are you cool with it? Do you want to do this? If not, I'll tell them no. I'm the middleman. All I'm doing is communicating for them, but I still have to get their response to be able to communicate back to the venue. I can't predict what an artist is going to say.
Probably someone that would like not make you like overwork yourself, you know what I mean? Like, okay, like, all right, it's good to put some time, but like, don't overwork yourself because you won't get burnt out, Yeah, and then who checks up on you and like takes care of you in a way, you know what I mean? That'll be like a good manager. What I do know, what a good manager does is person that will put you in the right spots. Get you connected good, and also put you in the right spot to make where you could easily shine. You know what I mean?
Where you position.
Yeah, like where you're supposed to be doing type shit. That motivates you, because what's a good team without knowing what to make? Without motivation, pushing each other type shit.
I mean, I'm just gonna dumb it down simple. If you can find the same stuff that your manager is finding you, you might want to look somewhere else. If you can do this, because managers is supposed to be somebody that can help elevate your career, get you different things, get you stuff to get you to the next level. You know what I mean? Personally, I had a manager. I never had a label, or I've been independent my whole career. So. But I've known people that have management and managers and stuff, and if they don't, if you just don't see them getting you to the next level, it's a phone call that you can make, or a show that you can call to get, or you get your own stuff, then yeah, man, you might want to look for somebody that can help you.
Like, why are you giving them 20%?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Or something that I can do on my own,
Man, the thing with managing is you're only really... This is what I figured out, man. All the business type stuff, music, all you're getting from people like that is connections and networking and shit. That's all they do. Like, that's what they do for you. And at least from my experience. And so if you're a good networker, you don't need a manager. Like, if you can talk to people really good, network, and do all that, you don't need a manager. I'm horrible at that shit. So I needed one, to fucking not even look like a dick or whatever and be 100. I just think it depends if you need a manager. You're not good really. If you're not a people person, look, if you can put up with bullshit, you can manage yourself. Because that's all managers and all these people do, bro. All they do is they put up with the bullshit business side of the music industry. So I feel like if you're good at bullshitting, man, do that. But I'm not good at bullshitting, so I would just have to get people to kind of bullshit.
I'm about to break a lot of feelings and break a lot of hearts, man. First off, I've been asked to be a manager for a lot of people because of my experience with finances, consulting, the people that I know, and I've turned down every single one because, to me personally, I don't have the qualifications to be a manager because I don't have what I personally believe what it takes to take them to the next level, because I don't think I have the connections for them. And I say this only because there are a lot of people who do think they do and they don't. There's so many people that, like, management isn't just like, hey, I'm just going to handle your finances, or management isn't just, hey, I'm just going to, like, you need places to do shows. Yeah, I know places you can do shows.
Like, hey, I'm Snoop Dogg's cousin. I'm
and there's a lot of people like that, man. There's a lot of people that like say, oh yeah, man, I can do your own photography, I can do your own video work, I can just pay for your studio time. That's not what management is. Management is finding out what your artist needs and then pursuing that, finding out what your producer needs and putting it in the right area. There's too many managers, too many bad managers that are flooding these gigs. It's hard to find the right one, there's so many bad trees, it's hard to find the right apple. You feel me? And if you really want to find a good manager, you have to find someone that actually has multiple people they're already working with, has connections and proof of concept that actually works, and then actually takes the time for not only yourself, but for the other people they work with too. Like someone that actually understands what you want and is willing to try to find it for you. Someone that doesn't wait for you to make opportunities and then says, hey, oh yeah, I see you're doing something, let me help you out. No, it's someone that actually makes those opportunities for you. Someone that gives you a paperwork that isn't just, 1 page, 2 paragraphs, but actually gives you a 7-page paperwork saying, look, this is in detail what I'm doing for you. This is something that you're going to do once I give this to you. This is what I'm getting on the back end, but this only works if I make it work, Not someone that's ripping off of you or ripping off your brand or trying to make themselves look good, To summarize this whole tangent, if you're a manager who is focusing on focusing on you and not them, you're a bad manager. You know what I mean? Like if you're focusing on the brand of your management and not their brand as an artist and a producer, you're a bad manager. Like the whole team needs to eat before you need to eat. It doesn't matter if you look bad. If they look good, you look good. There's too many people who don't get this mind state. There's too many people that think that, oh yeah, I have money or I have this and that. None of that shit matters. If you don't have passion for these people, you don't try to put yourself out for these people, then stop trying to be a manager for them.
Shout out to my brother D Loco, Godfather, you know what I'm saying? Dope Boy Click. One of the only people in Oklahoma that got a verse with Pimp C. Pimp C had came to Oklahoma. What was it called back then? Spring Lake Convention Center, I think that's what it was called then, right?
Yeah.
And it was the opening. They had live in concert Pimp C. After the concert, we go to the motherfucking studio. And you know what I'm saying? It's my brother Spyda's studio. He in there working on something. You know what I'm saying? And Pimp C just walked in and was like, man, that boy good on them keys right there. You know what I'm saying? I remember seeing Pimp C talk about telling Spyda, you know what I'm saying, man, just keep up that good work, man. Keep working, man. You good on them. You magical on them keys. You know what I'm saying? So it was crazy, bro. Like, I miss my brother, man. It's been a long time. Like, a long time. He was a real supporter of Oklahoma music, brother. He was one of the cornerstones of Oklahoma music. Spyda was a pillar in the community, bro. He helped a lot of artists kind of just build their craft and really build them as what they was, artists for sure. He worked with a lot of artists in Oklahoma, man. A lot of the first and second generation artists, were guaranteed that worked with or recorded at, you know what I'm saying? Spyda's, man, this is crazy.
Yeah, I do, man. I remember sitting in a session with my brothers and Keytek. That's where I first met Keytek. Hilarious dude. Very funny guy, man. He was our legendary producer. He was our guy, you know what I mean? He's
Our Zaytoven.
man, he was that guy that you needed him. You needed that sound, you know what I mean? You needed that sound with Keytek. But like I said, hilarious guy, so dope on those beats. And Spyda as well. I do Spyda as well. Rest in peace, Spyda, man. I've been to the studio back in the day and stuff. I met Spyda actually during the time when I was doing my stuff with Privilege I was talking about earlier. And we went to his studio and we worked with Spyda a couple times, man. And he's just another, Wise Notes, right?
Yeah, Wise Notes.
Yeah. Just a good dude, man. And it's just sad that he passed away so early before his You know, he got to see all this new creativeness that you can do in this industry, because he was just probably been, man, no telling where he would have been right now, but everywhere. Beyond the city, you know what I'm saying? But rest in peace, Spyda, man, and shout out to Keytek, man. An unfortunate situation for him, but legendary Oklahoma, man, all day.
We're sitting in the studio where literally a lot of the music happened. It's crazy because it's such a transformation of what it used to be. I can remember coming in here and this bitch being full of motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? And you walk into that back red room, which is now, you know, GQ's room, and sitting at the desk at the table would be this big round dude. You know what I'm saying? He went by the name of Keytek. You know what I'm saying? He had this little young dude sitting beside him at all times at the table, just working with him all the time, AKA Chris Cutter. And you know, they was always in room 8. That was room 8. And you had room B over here. You had Hamza and them in that room, kind of working albums and working, you know, stuff. It was crazy how this building produced so many artists. Not just, you know, Oklahoma, where we're talking about so much music. I've heard a lot of people have recorded in this. Hell, Kanye West has recorded in the studio. And it's kind of like coming in here watching these producers do what they do compared to what they was doing back then. Back then, a lot of the producers was doing straight things off the keys. You know what I'm saying? Everything was off the keys. This is before Fruit Loops.
So early on, artists like Roger, you know, from Roger and Zapp, these guys would play a full, you know, let's say the song was 7 minutes long. Bro, they would just take 7 minutes of recording time and lay out his drum parts, you know, lay out his bass line. And he would just play for 7 minutes. Lay out his chords and all of that. He would just play for 7 minutes. So if he's got a 8-track or 12-track mixer, you know, or if they were using even ADAT at the time, he would literally just take one whole tape that's got 8 tracks on it. He would just put all of those different parts and lay them all out separate. And then he would pour vocals to it from there. So that's what the 2-track was like for us. We would just lay down one part that we liked. So whether that was drums, bass line, whatever, you just lay down one piece at a time, and then you lay down your second one and then mesh them together on one track. And then you had that track open again and you could do the same thing. So for me personally, I mean, just over the years, just hearing some of that stuff about how we kind of concepted, how we work with all these different amazing musicians and other people that inspired us. You know, we had a bond, and with Spyda and I, it didn't matter how much time went by, you know, how many states I was across, or he was across, who he was dealing with, how many kids the man had, none of it. Like, it didn't matter. It was always a ride or die situation between he and I. We just had an amazing bond, and I was always truly, truly grateful for the opportunity to not only be a part of his life and him being a part of mine, but us sharing that bond with the music and having that as our kind of our nucleus, you know, if you will. It wouldn't matter how much time would go by if Spyda were able to somehow, some way miraculously even return, we would fall right back in the saddle. Still to this day, after all the years in the past, and we would still be freaking frat just the same. So
when he passed, that took a lot out of him.
Yeah, I mean, anything I did musically, I always wanted to share it with him. I wanted him to hear it. I wanted, necessarily for approval, but for that bonding element I was talking about, like, you kind of get into a comfort zone. It's almost like pacifying. Just knowing that there's somebody that you can share some of these musical visions with, if you will, and you cling on to that. It's like a security blanket, if you will. And to not have a security blanket is what it was like. And I would imagine that Kenya, it was like that, you know, Charlotte Vaughn, it's probably like that. Definitely Liquid. Ain't no question in my mind it was like that for him. Cats from D-Funk, you know what I'm saying? Cap, all of us, man. You know, there's so many people around the city that just love and miss him. You know, L Easy, it's everybody, man. Kurt, Crazy, Trail, all of us, man. We just missed that boy like crazy. He was just a hell of an influence, man, and just somebody you could, when it came to music, you could just vibe with, and he just fit them all with. If it was music, Spyda is the epitome, he's the definition of what music is like in the physical form of a human being. Like, he is that, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't matter what kind of music it was, he embodied it just the same, and he enjoyed doing whatever music it was. If it were music, he signed up, you know what I mean? He's dialed in. He's gonna try his best to give you the best product he can give you. As anybody I know, or that you know, or that don't know, as anybody, and I guarantee you they'll concur with that, bro. Like, he was this amazing musical human being. He's gonna always be missed, definitely by me and so many others, man. So, Keytek was good peoples, man. He's still a good dude, still to this day. I haven't talked to him in many moons. But yeah, he's a real good dude, man. And it was just unfortunate seeing how all of that played out and ended up putting him in that situation. But, you know, it is what it is. And, you know, he had to do what he had to do in order to feed his own soul. And keeping up and respect him for his decision. One of my fondest memories, I would say, about Tech is going up to, they used to have an organization that was called Waveform 7. And it was in Trey Burton's studio. We went up there a couple times and just hung out. And I remember Tech was one of the first people that ever showed me about what we used to call a snake, where you had all these wires that used to run out of ADATs into the mixer. And he was one of the first people to show me how to hook all that stuff up. So when we got ADATs that me and Spyda used to record with, we knew how to hook our stuff up. He was one of the first people to show me that. This was a lot of the reason why they called him Keytek in the first place. He was very, I mean, he had a wealth of knowledge of how to not only hook up sound equipment, but how to get the most out of it. You know, he was very
seems like he's ahead of his time.
Yeah, he was just zeroed in on all of that kind of stuff early on. But yeah, he showed me them snakes and how to finagle those, so we would know how to handle ourselves there, so we wouldn't have a bunch of wires laying all over the place. And you knew what was going where and all of that. Me and Spyda had went over there a couple times, and we would take beats over there and stuff sometimes, and you know, we'd get ciphers and stuff going. Tech used to rap a little bit too, so we would all, you know, just kind of get into ciphers. That was something me and Spyda used to pride ourselves on all of the time, was just getting in huddles and ciphers with everybody, and we'd get after it. So it didn't matter what style you had, West Coast, East Coast, whatever. Like, if you knew how to rap, you know what I'm saying? We would just come through your spot, and we just lace it, and we just call you out and see if you can get up here and represent like we was. So we would get up there and say whatever, and then they would be comfortable with us being there. And next thing you know, here they are spitting their bars, and we all like, woo, you know? It was cool. I remember if Tech was there, but I remember one time we had this, there was like this really big concert that it came here, and everybody was like at Lincoln, I think, right there where Jimmy Johnson's used to be, on about 42nd and Lincoln maybe. Everybody was here. It was like Whitehead Brothers, Teddy Riley was here, Latifah was here. I want to say Naughty by Nature might have been here. Can't remember, but anyway, we were kind of walking through the halls. somebody had a room there, so we all went to this room, this so-and-so had. We're in there busting a freestyle. We got a cypher going, and Bucket Loke was there, I remember. And Bucket like came at me, you know, he was like rap battling, you know what I'm saying? He was saying some dirty, yeah, exactly, just coming for me, just kind of trying to tear my head off in front of everybody. And right when I went to retaliate and say what I was gonna say, the door opens to the hotel room. Queen Latifah walks right in the door, dog. I was like, oh, snap. You know, we like bugging. You know, oh, the queen. You know, Cass is like bowing and stuff. It was bananas, man. It was so cool. And I think like for a minute, everything just kind of froze. But Tech, cool as a cucumber, man. Fresh out the fridge, bro. He didn't never get starstruck. I'm sitting in here tweaking. I'm just like, Tech was always cool, man. He didn't never fold like that in the sight of anybody like that was of a celebrity presence. He used to always be cool.